Welcome back. It's been an eventful week in the sports world. Here's Michael Pickley to tell us more.
Thanks, Esther. It's finally happening. Mixed martial arts champion Conor McGregor and undefeated boxer Floyd Mayweather have officially agreed to a crossover fight on August 26 in Las Vegas. With Mayweather as a heavy favorite, the fight is expected to gross millions of dollars, as these are two of the most popular athletes in their respective sport. McGregor is known for his personality and explosive knockout power, while Mayweather is well known as one of the best defensive boxers of all time. And another Stanley Cup parade in Pittsburgh. With a crowd of 650,000 fans staring at him in glory, Sidney Crosby hoisted the Stanley Cup. The face of the NHL was blown away by the reception that he received from his crowd. His teammates celebrated with his fans and signed autographs. This was the second parade in 2 years for the team and city, as the Penguins are back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. Pittsburgh is no stranger to victory parades, as the Steelers and Penguins have been champions multiple times in recent history. Must be nice to be a Pittsburgh fan. In the MLB, the Toronto Blue Jays beat the Tampa Bay Rays 7-6 yesterday. The win came after an 8-1 blowout loss to Tampa the night before. The Rays led the game 3-1 before Kendrys Morales capped the fifth inning with a 3-run homer. Francisco Liriano struck out 9 over 7 innings and allowed 2 earned runs and 5 hits. Martin recorded the game-winning run with a solo homer in the 8th inning. The Jays will kick off a 3-game series tomorrow night against the visiting Chicago White Sox. Forward Kevin Durant claimed that he had every intention to remain with the Golden State Warriors in a podcast yesterday. This will put Golden State into a favor to win the NBA title again, as Durant and Stephen Curry will only be 29 years old at the start of next season. Klay Thompson and Draymond Green will also be 27 years old. There's certainly many years of dominant basketball left in this team. That's a look at sports. Here's Reed Goodison with a look at entertainment.
Thanks, Michael. We begin with breaking news. Jurors in the trial of Bill Cosby have said today that they are deadlocked and cannot come to a unanimous decision. This comes after 31 hours of deliberation. The jury began deliberating on Monday, and if the jury becomes hung and can't reach a decision, the judge will declare a mistrial. The comedian faces 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault. Dozens of women have accused Cosby of sexual misconduct, but only one of those complaints has led to criminal charges. The Royal Ontario Museum is opening a new exhibit on Saturday. It's all about the stories, traditions, and lives of the Anishinabe people. Anishinabe Art and Power will take guests through several hundred years of art. The goal of the exhibition is to connect museum goers with the Indigenous community. The exhibit will run until mid-November. A powerful poem written by an Anishinaabe artist speaks loudly about past and present issues faced by Indigenous peoples. The words and images of I Know You're Sorry by Anishinaabe poet Leonard Sumner denounces the injustices and abhorrent treatment endured by Indigenous people, and it speaks about how apologies are more than words.
So where's all the support for Anishinaabe mowing classes? Assimilation tactics left no room for us to practice, and I really wish I could adjust. Yeah, I really wish I could have just listen with my heart and not my ego. I was fragile, conditioned by the world to think my culture wasn't passed down, but I learned the generosity. It's in my genealogy, so fuck all the bureaucracy.
Sumner is from Little Saskatchewan First Nation and will be performing at the Harbourfront Centre on July 3rd. The 11th edition of the Luminato International Arts Festival kicked off last night in Toronto. The festival features a huge arrangement in recognition of Indigenous women. The 5-hour series of performances, called Tributaries, featured over 60 artists of many disciplines and paid tribute to the resilience of Indigenous women and the power of earth and water. The festival will showcase many other artists across several venues, including dancer Akum Khan, Cree Cabaret, the Queer Songbook Orchestra, and dance group Vertical Influences. The last day of Luminato is June 25th. A high-profile pop star may be reviewing side dishes in her off time. A New Zealand website said it has found evidence that Lorde is behind an Instagram account dedicated solely to reviewing onion rings. Many of Onion Ring's worldwide 24 followers are related to Lorde in some way. The account has now been deactivated, and Lorde's second album, Melodrama, is scheduled for release tomorrow. A community of leading contributors to academia may be the last place you'd expect to see plagiarism. But American folk singer and winner of last year's Nobel Prize in Literature, Bob Dylan, is facing accusations that part of his prize acceptance speech were lifted from SparkNotes, a website that provides annotations and hints for understanding literary works. During the speech delivered 3 days before the deadline, Dylan allegedly made several references to Moby Dick that appeared on SparkNotes. The selfie may not have started with social media. Half a century before the rest of us, iconic photographer and artist Andy Warhol took his first photo of himself. Now it is expected that the dime store photo booth picture will sell for £7 million. The self-portrait was part of a personal collection since the 80s. It will be auctioned at Sotheby's in London. That's your arts update for this weekend. Let's go over to Adam Bernard's now for the weather.
Thanks, Reed. It's going to be mostly cloudy today with some temperatures staying cooler than the last few days. We're going to see a high of only 22 degrees today with a low of 18 overnight and a chance of some rain and thunderstorms this afternoon. Tomorrow, we're going to see a high of 29 degrees with a low of 18 and again a chance of thunderstorms all day long. Coming into the weekend on Saturday, we're going to see a high of 28 degrees with a low of 21, but again, a chance of thunderstorms. Now back to Esther in the newsroom.
Thanks, Adam. We leave you today with this. A French pilot flew over the English Channel yesterday in a car. The part dune buggy, part paraglider is named Pegasus after the winged horse in Greek mythology. The pilot launched at an abandoned runway, landed 59 kilometers away, 50 minutes after taking off. Pegasus can apparently reach speeds of up to 80 kilometers an hour and heights of over 3,000 meters. Wow, what a time to be alive. That's all for today. I'm Esther Klein. Remember, you can head over to humbernews.ca for the day's news and much more. And of course, you can also follow us on Twitter. Humber News is written and produced by students in the postgraduate journalism program. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next week.